GWM, go with more. 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 GWM.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the GWM live stream. I am Jack, a co-creator at GWM, and today you guys are in luck because I've got you in China's Hebei province. So we're in the Langya Mountains. So this is an awesome place if you really want to test the off-road capabilities of your vehicle. I mean, you've got high-rising mountains, steep slopes, rocky roads, you've got dense forests, you've got little rivers and streams to drive through, you've got icy terrain, you've got muddy terrain, you've really got everything if you want to see how your vehicle performs. And specifically, we are going to be looking at one of GWM's pickup trucks. So the pickup truck as a vehicle has really evolved over the years from being something that was more of a work tool, you know, the pure utility of it, hauling stuff around, maybe helping your friend move all of his furniture and stuff like that. It's really evolved from just the utility of the vehicle to becoming something that is a bit of a lifestyle, something where, you know, if you've got hobbies, if you've got certain passions, you love outdoor adventures, you love excursions, you love going on journeys, camping, off-roading, all of that. It's something that can really deliver for you in that aspect. And it's really kind of a statement of who you are as a person, your art of living, how you do it, and where your passions lie. So today, specifically, we are going to be looking at this model right here. This is the GWM POER 2.4T, also known as the GWM POER 2.4T. So GWM pickups are really a big deal, especially in China. I mean, they have been a market leader for 26 years in a row. And you gotta think, China, 1.4 billion people, GWM, their pickup trucks have been the market leader for pickup trucks for 26 years in a row. So that really just speaks for itself and the quality of the vehicle that we're looking at here. So they've really done a great job combining the comfort of, you know, a nice sedan, the utility and really the load capacity of a pickup truck, and also the off-road capabilities of an SUV. So I want to really get into the nitty-gritty with you guys. I really want to get into the details with you guys, but right here, I want to show you guys what this thing can do, some of the cool features, some of the details on it, and we'll get into a lot of the up-close view on this baby. So let's do it. All right, so our GWM POER 2.4T passenger version, I want to start you guys off with the exterior right here. So really a beautiful car. I love the aesthetic on this thing, especially when you look at this grille right here. It's a very powerful look. It's got kind of like a mesh design in the middle between the bars here, but the bars themselves convey a very powerful feeling because, you know, when you have a car driving towards you, the first thing you see is the front of the vehicle. It's this grille. So it makes a powerful first impression. It's got a rugged, but also kind of refined look to it as well. I love the design on it. They kept it simple, nice and clean. I really like that. And then as you go further into the vehicle, You've got the hood right here. You've got the contours where it kind of raises up. You got the bump on the hood. It gives it that nice kind of muscly look to it. And I love how the contours flow through the rest of the vehicle as well. You got the beautiful, shiny LED headlights. You see how the contours flow. So you go from kind of a very strong, powerful first impression, and then you kind of flow into the rest of the vehicle. And it has a nice, smooth, sleek look as you go through it. You've also got these 18-inch big old hubcaps right here. I believe that's with the all-terrain tires. So that is beautiful as well. That is going to be great for off-roading. But I mean, it's not just for off-roading. I mean, it looks like a great vehicle for going out and about, outdoor stuff. But you can see it's a very pretty truck as well. Even if you're just city cruising, you've got the big truck bed as well. That's going to be carrying a lot of your stuff. You've got the side steps right here integrated with the frame. So just a beautiful vehicle overall. I mean, this is a thing that would be cool to be caught, you know, driving through the city, driving out and about in the countryside, really anywhere you take it, it's going to be looking good. And I want to tell you guys more about some of the details, some of the features of this thing, what's really cool about this vehicle. But I think what would be better than you just hearing it from me is that if we got you guys an actual real deal GWM owner to tell you guys what it's like to own this vehicle, what it's like, you know, to drive it, the features of it, what's cool about it, and what the overall experience and stories they have when it comes to owning this vehicle. So without further ado, let's have Catherine join us. So hi, Catherine.
Hello.
Say
Jack.
what's up to the audience.
Hello, everyone. I'm today's guest, Catherine. It's honored to be here and share my story with GWM.
All right, welcome, welcome. So you actually own the GWM POER 2.4T, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long have you owned it for? Is this a new purchase or have you had it for a while?
It's April of this year.
Okay, so you bought it in April, so that's a little over half a year. So when you bought it, what were you thinking about? How did you ultimately come to the decision to buy this vehicle?
So before buying this one, I compare other cars at the same price range, but none of them can compare GWM.
Okay, so you compare different vehicles,
Yeah.
different trucks,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, when you were picking a pickup truck, this vehicle performed the best in terms of just overall performance, comfort, all that, yeah? Okay, so over half a year now,
Yeah.
have you taken it anywhere cool? Have you had any cool adventures or fun journeys with it so far?
Actually, past the National Day, I drive it from Chongqing to Alishan left a banner.
Oh, from Chongqing to Alashan?
Yeah.
That's far, is it not?
Yeah, it's approximately 2,400 kilometers.
2,400 kilometers all the way from Chongqing. That's where you live, yeah?
Yeah,
From
just by
Chongqing?
myself.
Okay, from Chongqing to Alashan by yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy. So nobody else, just you?
I just took my friend, cat.
Oh, you're,
Cat. Yeah. He called Choo Choo.
oh, you have a cat, Chiu Chiu.
Yeah.
Okay, so you and Chiu Chiu, 2,400 kilometers from Chongqing to Alashan.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. We'll have to talk about that more a little later when we're in the vehicle.
Yeah,
But
no problem.
so besides just adventures, because you had a fun adventure like that, going on outdoor excursions, is this a vehicle that you also use in your daily life or with work and stuff like that?
Yeah, because I worked in tests. Actually, it's vehicle test center.
Oh, a
So
vehicle test center.
yeah,
Okay.
I support many car companies to test their car's ability and off-road stability.
Okay, so you actually test vehicles' off-road capabilities and how they perform in, you know, rural areas. Okay, so do you use
Yeah,
your
it's a good
GWM?
helper.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it has winch
Oh, okay.
support by T-Max.
Okay. So yeah, it's got the T-Max winch. So
Yeah.
so this is something that you actually get to use
Yeah.
on your job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like when?
When we test their cars,
Mm-hmm.
some cars maybe are stuck in the mud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have to use T-Max and pull it out.
Oh, so that's actually kind of fun. You actually get to use the winch, attach it to stuck vehicles, and pull it out of the mud or a pit or something like that. That's pretty cool. So the T-Max winch you're talking about, this thing is qualified, at least in the South African and Australian models, the ones that are being sold there. This T-Max winch is qualified to tow 3.5 tons worth of weight. So this thing is very, very powerful. And another cool thing about that T-Max winch is it's not just the winch that is powerful, it's integrated very well with the entire vehicle. So this vehicle, the GWM POER 2.4T, it has what is called a frame-on-body design, which means that the frame or the body of the car is integrated as one piece with the chassis, and the bumpers are welded directly on to the vehicle. So, you know, I'm sure you've seen videos where someone's using a winch like on a pickup truck and they're trying to rescue another vehicle or they're trying to rescue themselves, and their winch is very powerful, but their bumper is not. So the bumper is torn.
Yeah.
It's torn right off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like this, the bumper is very solid, so the vehicle is able to act as an integrated whole, and it's very powerful. It also has the four-wheel drive.
Yeah, it have different models.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Different modes of four-wheel drive. So I think it's got like you can switch between different ones. So you have like basic two-wheel drive.
And four high.
Yeah, four high.
And four low.
Right. So you got the high gear four-wheel drive, the low gear four-wheel drive. So that's probably good for different environments, different terrains, right?
Yeah.
What kind of different terrains have you driven it in? Or different like areas, like muddy areas or stuff like that? So like, you know, probably like sandy areas, right?
Yeah, sandy area.
So like because what I was reading up on this vehicle is you can traverse all sorts of different kind of areas, right? Especially with the four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, low gear, high gear, you know, sandy areas, muddy, snowy probably as well. How about mountains? I'm sure you do that in Chongqing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a vehicle that with the four-wheel drive, it has a lot of different options. It has the part-time four-wheel drive where you can switch between different modes. So you can traverse all sorts of different terrain. We also have the ESP system, which provides electronic stability system. So that is going to make your vehicle very stable as well. And in a minute, we're going to be hopping in here and we're going to see that it also has the L2 Plus intelligent driving system. So you get a lot of integrated features with that as well, a lot of smart intelligent features, the ACC, AEB, all sorts of traffic sign recognition, lane departure warnings, all just a whole bunch of stuff like that. So so I say, instead of us just talking here all day, we should hop in the vehicle, take it for a spin. You guys can see how it does on the road, kind of the feel of the vehicle, and we can get to driving it, actually start having some fun here. So
let's go.
Yeah, you actually drive the vehicle. She's the actual owner, so we'll have Catherine drive. You're probably better at driving it than me, and I'll hop in the passenger seat.
Okay.
So let's do it. All right, here we go. All right, we're on the road. Okay. So you've been taking this thing out a lot before. So you went all the way, you're talking about before, you went all the way from Chongqing to Alashan. How far was that? Because I've been to Chongqing, I have not been to Alashan yet, but I do know that these two places are not close.
Oh, yeah, it's about 2,400 kilometers.
2,400 kilometers?
2 to 3 days, I think.
Wow, 2 or 3 days you just drive, and I imagine you would have to traverse a whole host of different terrains, because Chongqing, I've been there, it's a very mountainous area.
Yeah, and Alashan left banner is different. It's a vast desert.
Okay, so there it's more of a sandy environment, I guess?
Yeah.
Right. So you started out in Chongqing, and you've seen the videos of Chongqing. You live in Chongqing. I've seen the videos. I'm sure a lot of people have seen the videos where it's like you go into the subway.
Yeah.
And it's like
And it goes through the big building.
Right, like all those stairs, you go like down really deep, and like it's just a very like up and down kind of environment. So how do you find that your vehicle when you're driving the GWM POER T 2.4T, how do you find it performs when you're in Chongqing?
I think especially is its fuel consumption is very low.
Yeah.
Actually, not in the city. It's from when I drive it from Chongqing to Alishan and Banner. When I drove over 700 kilometers, before needing to refuel. Yeah.
Wow, you went over 700 kilometers.
Yeah.
On one tank of gas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess that also, I mean, that's really low fuel consumption, especially when you consider, that a lot of pickup trucks, they usually burn a decent amount of fuel. They're not usually known as very, fuel conserving vehicles, but over 700 kilometers on one tank of gas. I mean, that's definitely going to save you a lot of money in terms of fuel cost.
Yeah.
So you were going from Chongqing to Alashan. You spent a couple of days. So Chongqing, like just getting out of there, like Li Bai, the famous Chinese poet.
Mm-hmm.
He has that one poem, you know it?
Yeah.
It's called, what's it called? Shu Lao Nan.
Yeah.
Right? Right. So like that area, and it's by Chongqing. It's like he talks about how difficult that area is to get out of. So I imagine you driving your truck, it'd be a very difficult terrain to traverse. But this thing, as you're talking about, it can be in a more fuel efficient mode. So you have like the 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But it's got the 4-wheel drive as well, right?
Yeah, and actually, in China, people always will consider about fuel price.
Mm-hmm.
So this car can solve this problem, I think.
Okay, so people are very cost conscious when it comes to fuel here. So they're very aware of how much they're spending on gas. So it's kind of the demand that has created a vehicle that has such efficient fuel consumption.
Yeah, they usually will when they driving on the road, they will calculate in their mind about if this car how much fuel this car will use.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's they will consider about 100 kilometer how much this car will use fuel.
Chinese people are good at math. You're doing the calculating all the time.
in their mind.
All right, so they're thinking about the specific numbers. How much gas am I going to need? So when you're driving, you went all the way from Chongqing to Alashan. Was it just you by yourself?
No, with my little cat.
Oh.
He called Choo Choo.
Oh, okay. So you had your cat Choo Choo with you.
Yeah, and he really liked my pickup. Actually.
Really?
Yeah, he really liked the interior.
Yeah, the back seat.
Yeah, back seat. And he can walk freely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of room to like move around, very spacious.
Yeah. When I'm driving, he will just sleep on the back seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not just a good driving experience for yourself, also important for Choo Choo, your cat, as well. Okay. Very cool. So, but I mean, if it's just you and your cat, did you feel nervous? Because you like you said, 2,400 kilometers from Chongqing to Alashan. Did you feel nervous or worried about going on this adventure with just you and your cat?
No.
Really?
No. I
Not at all.
Any tricky situation, actually. It's given me much confidence.
Okay.
Actually, about road security, something like that, and my cat Choo Choo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your cat Choo Choo's Not worried either. Completely at ease.
Don't worry.
Okay, so the safety and kind of its ability to traverse or conquer all sorts of different terrains and environments kind of gives you that confidence. Because you seem like, you know, a pretty brave person. You like going on adventures. You like going into the unknown. This is probably a very good car or a very good vehicle, a very good truck for someone who is into doing things like that. So, I mean, I think that also goes to show that, you know, the truck, it's not just a tool, it's also like part of your lifestyle, right? Your passions, your hobbies. I mean, you actually own the car, so you don't have to imagine, but like when I like ride in this car, I can imagine myself.
Yeah, it's just like a life attitude.
Right. I can imagine myself, you know, living out the lifestyle, just kind of, you know, it's showing off, you know, what my hobbies or my passions are and stuff like that. So like I can imagine myself driving this vehicle. You know, I've got friends with me in it where we got the windows down, music playing, having a good time. We're going, whoa, there's some rocks in the road right there. Getting a little crazy. And we're just, you know, going out. We got the sunroof open and you're just like out in nature. And it's like you said, you know, it's one thing is the safety features themselves, but it's also the peace of mind and the confidence it gives you, because you know you run into any situation, you will be able to handle it. And I'm sure you get a lot of that confidence from when you use your truck in your work, right? So you really get to use a lot of the cool features of your vehicle. Like you're talking about the winch before, right? So how do you usually get to use the winch?
It can help me easily pull some other vehicle, pull it out when we get some tricky situation, especially mud environments. Oh, muddy environments,
okay.
Yeah.
And for you as well, right? Like have you ever gotten your vehicle stuck? Have you ever gotten your GWM POER 2.4T stuck?
So I will tie the tree and pull my car out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you can actually pull your car out of that situation. That's really cool. So, I mean, these are like the things we talk about, the ability to traverse the world. I mean, the world is your oyster at that point. And I can imagine as well, you know, what I would do with it, the journeys, excursions I would go on. And, you know, if anyone's watching this video, any of our audience out there, and you guys own a GWM POER vehicle, truck like this, you know, I welcome you guys as well. Share your stories. You know, how does it make you feel to drive it? Have you ever been on any cool adventures? Any interesting experiences? Anything that just made you say, wow, you know, it really kind of changed the way that I perceive a truck or how I use a truck or how I view it in my life. Because I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of opportunities out there just to really, you know, push the boundary for both you, yourself, and your vehicle. So you live in Chongqing, and I'm sure you've been to places with even higher mountains as well. When you go to environments like that, how does the vehicle perform when you're at high altitudes?
Yeah, when we get high altitudes, some cars maybe will suffer altitude sickness.
Oh, the cars are getting altitude sickness.
Yeah, they can't get enough power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the 2.4, the power 2.4T, it still preserves a lot of the power even at high altitudes, yeah?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I mean, you know, it's impressive, but it does not surprise me because you think about the way this vehicle is built. I mean, this vehicle, the GWM POER 2.4T, what that stands for is a 2.4 liter turbocharged diesel engine. So this thing really has the ability to push you through all sorts of obstacles and difficult environments. You have a maximum 480 Newton meters of torque. You have 186 horsepower. You have 135 kilowatt of maximum power. So I mean, that is just, it's a lot of raw power to get you where you're going, and it has a lot of different features that keep you stable in very precarious or very tricky environments, like you were talking about, like up at high altitudes, up climbing steep slopes. I mean, that's a time where you're going to need high torque with low speed. So we were talking about earlier, we have, you know, the two-wheel drive, we have high gear four-wheel drive, and we also have low gear four-wheel drive. So like you were out in Alashan, that was a very sandy desert environment. What kind of driving mode are you using there?
I think it's low 4. Yeah.
Okay, so you might be using a high 4 or a low 4 there.
4, yeah, because it has a lot of modes. Yeah, I think model.
Okay, so right, like, so you're in a desert environment. It's very sandy. The soil is soft. You might have a hard time. Your wheels could spin out. You might have a hard time getting traction. You'll want that high gear four-wheel drive. But then you get into the mountains, like we were talking about before. You're gonna want the low gear four-wheel drive because you still need a lot of torque. You need that power to get up the mountain, but you're doing it at a low speed. So you have a torque multiplier, which at lower speeds, you still preserve a very high amount of torque, which is important for the stability. You also have the ESP system on the chassis, stuff like that. It keeps the chassis stable. So it's those features that really provide that stability. So, you know, that's a lot about like the engine and the raw performance of the vehicle. In your experience, because, you know, you travel long distances, how is it, you know, in a user-friendly or comfort style? Do you find it to have a lot of user-friendly features?
Yeah, I think it's L2 plus.
So yeah, just, you know, especially when you're driving up, and I think maybe one of the most difficult environments are steep slopes up in the mountains, but this thing has been tested, you know, even in altitudes of 4,700 meters, it still had torque of 400 Newton meters. So that is a lot of power. It still preserved very much of its, you know, RPMs, horsepower, and stuff like that. So in terms of raw power, it is a very well-performing vehicle. But just aside from the power of the vehicle, the stability of the vehicle, you know, you drive long distances, you go on journeys. How do you find it works in terms of comfort, in terms of user-friendly options and features and stuff like that?
I think it's L2 plus.
Oh, the L2 plus driving system?
Yeah, like automatic headlights and space sensitive volume. Yeah.
Right.
And the cruise control made it much easier to handle any driving scenario, I think.
Right, especially, you know, because you're talking about the L2 plus intelligent driving system, especially what you're talking about, the cruise control. I think it's really cool as well. They have the ACC, the adaptive cruise control. So cruise control, typically, you know, you're going a long distance, you don't want to have to keep your foot on the gas pedal the whole time in the same spot to maintain your speed. You put cruise control on, keeps it at a constant speed. But the adaptive cruise control takes it a step further, and it will monitor your surroundings. You can see a vehicle in front of you close, whether heavy traffic. It can adjust your flow with the traffic. So you know, like with minimal cruise control, you have to turn it off and reset it, stuff like that. Adaptive cruise control, the lane keep assist. You also have lane departure warnings that'll start beeping probably if you...
Actually, one of my friends, he also have 2.40 GWM POER. He have plus because he also
That's,
yeah,
that's
it's too dangerous.
Yeah, you know, that's good. You're a much safer driver.
Yeah.
Falling asleep when you're driving is not good news. But I mean, even if you had like the worst of scenarios, at least you have those functions and features in place can give you that extra level of protection.
And when we parking, yeah,
Right, like
we have to be careful the distance between cars.
right, and then with the 360-degree view, you can see everything around you.
Yeah, totally control this car.
Right, it's like peak awareness, and also what I think is very cool about this 360-degree view with the cameras and sensors, you can also see under the vehicle. So like if you're in like maybe like if you're on a normal, you know, road in the city, you know what the road's like, but in the mountain.
Yeah, and off-roading, when you do some off-roading tests, you can see everything under your vehicle.
Right.
Yeah, we finally arrived camping area.
Right, we made it. Look at this place. The Longya Mountain campsite.
Yeah.
And I love the Longya Mountains here. They call this, what's that translate to? The
Wolf teeth.
wolf teeth mountains. They're like jagged and stuff. You got like the moon coming out just above it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You also got the river back here flowing all nice and peaceful. It's going to be a good camping spot, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's grab our chairs from the back. All right.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the back of this thing too, the truck bed. Grab these. So what do you usually use it for? Just camp? Well, I guess you don't camp in it. Probably use like put a lot of work stuff back. Yeah.
Yeah, some test view.
Like this would be great for putting in like one of those really big beach umbrellas because those things are like heavy and like much bigger than a usual umbrella, but this thing could totally fit it, no problem. The other nice thing about this truck bed as well is that the lining on this, like, you know, like we're pulling out the chairs here, it doesn't like, it prevents a lot of scratching. It doesn't scratch up the bed of the truck. It has that nice lining on it to protect it. It keeps it from getting dirty, you know, water or liquids as well. It doesn't really mess with it. So yeah, you could throw a bunch of stuff back here. It wouldn't be a problem. But me, probably beach stuff. Beach umbrella, beach chairs, beach towels. I might even bring a beach tent. Look at it. Right on top of the bed of the truck like that. You don't even have to get it in the sand. Your tent won't get all sandy. That's a big deal. Yeah. You get back home, all your stuff sandy. It makes going to the beach a real problem. Look at that, we're here. All right. And all of our snacks.
Yeah, let's start camping.
Let's do it. Some more, make a little tea.
Thank you. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Warm you a little as well. So that was a lot of fun taking it out, driving around. GWM Power 2.4T.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of fees that I had been before. It was cool to really see them in person. But that's probably something you're kind of used to at this point. You've been, you know, riding around now.
Yes.
I've been before. Warm.
Yeah.
So camping at night, it won't get too cold. I've been
Yeah.
camping once in Beijing,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really cold. I was like out in the mountains with a bunch of vodka, and it was fine, but it was cold. And the tough part of that is we had tents,
Yeah.
but we like put them on the ground and scary stuff. So what I like about if you have like a pickup truck,
Mm-hmm.
like the GWM Power right here, you can put your tent
Yeah.
up there, and it comes with the ladder and everything as well. But yeah, so you stayed in England and the UK before,
Yeah.
but you never went camping in the UK?
No, no, no. After I came back to China, I
Mhm.
always working.
Oh, okay.
Working in the test field, and I don't have time to camping with my friend.
It's cool how you found
Mm-hmm.
a job doing vehicles
Yeah.
and off-road testing and
Yeah.
stuff, and you have a vehicle that kind of fits very well with your current direction as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is something you get to use like in your job. Like, I mean, how does it feel to be testing vehicles off-road and stuff? And because I know you talked about being able to rescue other vehicles. What does that feel like for you?
Sometimes if I help other cars
Mhm.
and they go through the tricky situations,
Yeah.
so I feel successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you feel pretty proud because like someone like I if I was driving my car and I got it stuck, I mean there's been a couple times because I don't drive a whole lot in
Mm-hmm.
China because I live in Beijing and it's a crowded city.
Yeah.
But when I lived in America, I mean especially in Florida, if you go anywhere, you have to drive. And I used to drive like old like secondhand cars and just cheap stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and all sorts of things would happen. They'd break down. I've had my car's battery die on me multiple times, and so I would have to, have someone. I'd have to like go find someone with jumper cables that could put it on my battery and
Mm-hmm.
start my car back up. And every time I'd be like really thankful. I'd be like, oh,
Sometimes it's very embarrassed.
yeah, it can
Yeah.
even be embarrassing, but you find someone who is able to help you, who's got jumper cables, he can start your car. So
Mm-hmm.
I imagine with you, you talked about you use like the T-Max winch and stuff. You're like, that's even cooler than like having jumper cables and starting a battery. You pull vehicles out of tricky situations like you're talking about. You'd have to feel really proud.
Yeah, and this card is I think it's factory installed
Yeah,
this winch.
yeah,
Yeah, when you buy it and you get winch as well.
yeah, yeah. And something it pulls like qualified to pull like 3.5 tons. Like that's a ton of weight. And I'm sure like you talking about you going on long adventures.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to know before you start out that there could be bumps in the road, there could be obstacles and challenges, but you still do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you drove from Chongqing to Alashan,
Yeah.
you still did it.
Yeah. Some
Oh,
water.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
some warm water going. It's chilly out here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So yeah, so you were out in Alashan area, the desert.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine driving there is a lot different than what you're used to, where you usually drive.
Usually drive.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't realized it's a lot of features.
Yeah,
The T Max,
the
its
winch, right?
and 4WD.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
four-wheel drive.
Yeah, and the P2 Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The L2 plus. The
Oh,
L2
yeah,
plus.
it's L2 Plus.
Right. So like yeah, when you're out in Alashan, because I imagine you're driving through like sand dunes and stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of sandy roads, you'd
Yeah.
probably have to like activate your high gear four-wheel drive, I think is what you use in a scenario like that, right?
And I with my cat, we look at sunshine.
Well, then your cat must love the sunroof and the
Mm-hmm.
vehicle.
Yeah, and he really like the tailgate
Yeah.
because a lot of space here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a really big truck bed. That truck bed is like 1.52 by 1.52 meters.
Yeah.
And it's like it's 54 centimeters deep. Like it's really big.
If I put its bed in the truck,
Mm-hmm.
they may sleep in there.
Oh, he'll just sleep in the truck.
Yeah.
That's adorable. Outdoorsy and adventurous as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of maybe where I got my kind of adventurous spirit as well, going to different countries, going to different places. I love going, on outdoor excursions or just going just wherever. If it's a new place, I'm interested.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do use your body to a certain extent, especially when the when the going gets particularly tough or really rough roads. It can be physically taxing. However, though, when I was riding in the GWM Power, I found that there wasn't a whole lot of stress on the body really, especially with like rough ground and stuff, rocky roads. It has really good shock absorption. Like the shock on this thing is very good. Also with the ESP system and how it stabilizes the chassis and stuff. I mean, it does make for a really smooth ride. So it is like a sport, but I feel like when you drive a vehicle like this, it's more of like a strategic and like technical sport as opposed to like there being a lot of like physical load because it's really not too hard on the body, at least driving with this. If you're driving like off-road motorcycles though, or like ATVs, that's definitely very physically taxing. Yeah. So do you think in the future, like how we're camping right now, I got the tent all set up and everything. Do you think that you'll go camping in the future with your truck?
Yeah, absolutely.
What places would you want to go to? Are there any places that you think would be really cool?
Maybe besides the beach and
Okay.
and maybe on the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe in my test field.
Yeah.
With my colleague.
Yeah. With your colleague?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Beach camping would be really cool. You'd have to be careful about the water tide coming up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does drive well in the sand, and that you went to Alashan Desert. So it can drive just fine in the sand, can drive up the mountains. You got the low gear 4-wheel drive. And what's your test site like? Like what kind of terrain do you guys have there? Like what kind of different environments do you guys test in?
We have different modes.
Different driving modes, yeah.
Yeah, different driving modes and different roads.
If you think about the specs on this thing's engine and stuff, it's a 2.4 liter turbocharged diesel engine. That's what the 2.4T stands for. And it's got 480 Newton meters of torque. It's got 135 kilowatts of power. It's got 186 horsepower. I mean, this thing really packs a punch. And so like, with the torque, I mean, when you're climbing the slope like that, like you said, 45 degrees, it can go up. That's when the torque is very, very important because your speed is low, but when you're in low gear 4-wheel drive, it amplifies the torque. So even if your speed or your RPMs are low, you've still got enough torque and enough power to really push you up.
Yeah.
that slope.
Yeah.
So you've taken it to very high places in the past, right? Like high altitudes?
Yeah, also in the test field.
Yeah, and the test field as
Yeah.
well. How did it perform when you took it, up mountains and stuff like that? How did it work?
Mm, its agent is very powerful,
Yeah.
and you can feel, and when you sit on it,
Hmm.
and it's like this angle, and you can feel
Like that?
someone push you
Yeah.
up the highest point.
Wow.
Yeah, and you don't worry about anything because you can see everything surrounding you through 360 view camera.
Right. You got the cameras and the sensors all around you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. And I remember reading that, this vehicle, it's even the GWM Power 2.4T has even been tested at, I want to say 4,700 meters, and it still was able to provide 400 newton meters of torque. It still had high horsepower and great RPM as well. So I mean, that's, you think about when you're driving a vehicle like this, when you're driving GWM Power, you're likely going to be in a scenario where you're high altitudes or you're going up steep slopes, rugged roads, crazy. Another thing that surprised me is intelligent driving system. You have like you were talking about when you like change lanes or if you veer off a lane in the vehicle, it sends you right back.
Yeah, L2 plus will take you back on this road.
Right.
Yeah.
It has the they call it the lane keep assist. So you can be veering out of, if you were tired or if you weren't paying attention, you slightly veered over the line of your lane that you're in, it automatically.
Yeah, like my friend always sleepy when he driving. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very dangerous. Your friend should probably sleep more before before
Yeah.
he drives. But yeah, of course, you should definitely be awake when you're driving. But even if, like God forbid, like you said, your friend got sleepy, it provides that extra layer of protection.
Yeah.
Also, I thought the ACC was very cool. The
Yeah.
adaptive cruise control. Is that something that you get to use often when you're driving it? Use the cruise control?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fairly often, yeah. So, when I had a car back in the day, but my cars were older cars. One car was as old as me. It was 1995. Thank you. But that car had cruise control, but it was like a very basic form of cruise control. It just set the speed. But adaptive cruise control that you have on the GWM POER 2.4T, it's adaptive cruise control. So it can kind of detect the flow of traffic. It can kind of sense what's going on around it on the road. If a car in front of it slows down,
Yeah.
it maintains a safe distance.
Yeah, they maybe stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right at a stop or at least adjust its speed according to the vehicle or the traffic that is in front of it. So I found that very cool because I remember when I would drive a car in the past, I just used the basic cruise control. If the traffic, if there were no other vehicles on the road, okay, great, cruise control is fine. I can go the constant speed all the time. But usually that's not the case. Usually there's other vehicles. Things change very often when you're driving. Traffic changes, the car's speed in front of you changes. The adaptive cruise control, the ACC, it will take all of that into account and you don't even have to mess with anything. It really takes care of it for you. So I find that very cool.
Take you away from the danger.
Yeah, yeah. And especially like, you were talking about Chongqing to Alashan. You drive 2,400 kilometers.
Yeah.
So when you're going such a far distance, it's, almost inevitable that you're going to have some fatigue or that you're going to be tired. something like ACC really takes a lot of the pressure and the load off the driver. You still have to be aware, but it will help you conserve your energy when you're going on long distance,
Yeah.
trips like that, like a trip
And
like that.
check the map and see the different location where we should go in.
Right. Like you're looking at the GPS, you're seeing all this. So it's very integrated, which is something that I like. I think another cool part about it is like, for example, us now, we're out here camping. If you're going out camping or you're going out to have fun, I mean, like we brought a table, we brought all this food, we brought a pot, we brought a tent, that truck bed, the cargo space in the back is very ample. 1,520 millimeters by 1,520 millimeters or 1.52 meters. So you got 1.52 meters both ways, length and width, and then you have 54 centimeters of depth. I mean, that's a lot of stuff that you can put in there, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just that. You can see that it has a lining on the truck, so it really prevents it from getting dirty. It prevents a lot of the scratching on it, because I mean, basically you're throwing a table in there, chairs, all this, pulling it in and out. The GWM POER 2.4T, it has that coating on the cargo space in the back on the truck bed, so it prevents water from damaging it, or it getting dirty, or it getting scratched up. So I thought that was kind of cool as well. And I also just think it's so cool that, like, us camping, we can just throw that tent right up there.
Yeah.
Because I remember me camping back in Florida. I'd go camping with my family, but we just put our tents on the ground,
Oh.
and you really don't know what's in Florida. There's all sorts of dangerous stuff. There's alligators, there's snakes, there's bugs, there's cockroaches that are like this big.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can put your tent up there, it's just so much nicer.
Yeah.
It keeps it a lot cleaner as well. Yeah. So, I think there's really a lot of cool features on this vehicle that, to me, it just really impressed me. And, you get to drive it often, so maybe you get accustomed to it. But for me to see it up close and, get in the car and stuff is really a lot of fun. And, it's also a very good looking vehicle.
Yeah.
Like this is the black color.
Body structure.
Yeah, the body structure. Like, I love the grill on the front of it. Very impressive. It creates a great first impression, a powerful entrance. You got the 18-inch hubcaps on there. So what color is your GWM POER?
Black.
Yours is black as well?
Yeah.
I think the black is a really cool color. It's very sleek.
Yeah.
I think if it were me, I might go for like a I kind of like that Alashan desert style, like you're talking about. I like kind of like that tan look, because I think it looks very off-roady. But I think the black is very sleek, and it would be very cool in a city setting.
Yeah.
As well, right?
I choose this color because it looks like a soldier.
It looks like a soldier.
Yeah.
Like keeping you protected on the road.
Yeah. Away from the danger.
So how did you feel? Like, because I mean, I would have to imagine there's so much unknown, so many, I don't want to say risk, but there are challenges involved when you're driving long distances, like when you go from Chongqing to Alashan. How did you feel when you were driving it? Because it was just you and Chocho, your cat, right? Were you nervous at all, or were you worried, or was there anything that was like on your mind that you were worried about?
No, because this car is very is stable, and its features give me much confidence to face the unknown. Yeah, on the road.
I bet.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of unknown that could happen.
So my cat's sleepy all the time. Like a back seat.
In the back seat?
Yeah.
So your cat's comfortable and at ease as well? Okay.
So I drive in the car and with music.
Playing music, just in the car, listening. Very cool. So yeah, I thought it was really interesting when we were talking about the T-Max winch earlier, the amount of weight that thing can pull. I mean, like in the Australian and South African market models, that winch is capable of pulling 3.5 tons of weight. And what's more important is, the winch, it's integrated with the entire frame of the vehicle. So you have the frame on body design with the GWM Power 2.4T, which means that the body of the vehicle is integrated with the chassis,
Yeah.
is one complete part. Because you've seen like videos of like pickup trucks or whatever. They're using their winch trying to pull another vehicle or pull themselves out of a predicament, and the bumper just rips right off.
Yeah.
So, and you've used the winch multiple times, and your bumper has been fine
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah, every time.
No problem at all.
No problem at all.
And you've rescued other vehicles. You've also pulled your own vehicle, your GWM Power 2.4T out.
Tree and pull my car it out.
So you just take the winch, the T-Max winch, you wrap it around a tree that's nearby, and it can pull the truck out.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And like your bumper will be good and be able to work with the winch because the bumper is directly welded onto the frame and the chassis. It's all one integrated part.
I don't need to worry about anything.
Yeah.
I heavily rely on it when I'm working or whatever, go out or long trips.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because for you, it's not just for trips, it's also your work vehicle and your daily, just daily life, day-to-day kind of vehicle as well, right? Yeah, so it's also important because a pickup truck, it's a mode of transportation and it can be fun, but it's overall it's a very versatile, multi-purpose vehicle. And I think pickup trucks in the past, it was maybe more of just the utility of it. The work that had to be done, hauling stuff around, transporting items. But now it can be used for so many things.
Yeah.
It's,
for camping.
Right.
Yeah.
Camping, off-roading,
and
climbing mountains.
Long distance travel.
Long distance travel. So, it's really, I think pickup trucks, and especially the GWM Power 2.4T, it's really just evolved as a vehicle. And it's become so much more than just a mode of transportation or something that's just purely for the sake of utility and hauling items, transporting items. It's something that also, I think, really speaks to one's lifestyle, how you live, your passions, your ambitions. Do you think that this vehicle, the GWM Power 2.4T, is something that matches with you in a personality sense?
Deep down, I always wanted to combine my love for off-roading with my professional knowledge and to build a career that truly belongs to me.
Right. So your kind of adventurous spirit, your willingness to embrace the unknown, it's kind of something that personality is kind of something you forged during, the early times of studying in the UK, being in a completely new and strange environment. And over time, you kind of found your path through off-roading and, just embracing more unknown, braving more unknowns. And then the GWM Power 2.4T, that is kind of become your tool.
Yeah.
And kind of become somewhat of a companion
for
you to face more unknowns and to go into, new environments, step out of your comfort zone. And I think that's an important trait for people to have personality-wise. It's something that I did too, going to a new place, new country. But you got a car like this, and it'll take you all sorts of places you could never even imagine. The world is your oyster. You can traverse all sorts of different terrains, conquering all sorts of different environments and scenarios. And, I think that the overcoming of different obstacles and challenges and things that are encountered in the unknown in new spaces, that is what ultimately leads to true personal growth.
Yeah.
So it's very it's instrumental, really, for you in your current stage of life. You braved the unknowns of studying abroad and finding your path, your career, and your work, and now you continue to do that currently in your current stage of life, and now you have an amazing tool, the GWM Power 2.4T, to do it with you. So I think that's I think it's just a great scenario overall. All right, let's get some more of this water. It should be nice and warm now.
Yeah.
Should be good for brewing some tea, yeah?
Okay, thank you, Jack.
No problem. So So that was a lot of fun riding around in the car today, yeah? I feel like I got to see a lot of cool parts about the car. There's a lot of things that or I should say truck, cool parts about the truck. There are a lot of things that really surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like L2 Plus?
Yeah, so the L2 Plus was really neat because, you know, when I think of like a pickup truck, you know, I think of it more as like almost a bare bones kind of vehicle. They don't put a lot of special features on it. I mean, this thing's got a lot of raw power, a powerful engine, but it really did surprise me with the L2 Plus because, you know, on top of just the rugged raw power of the vehicle, you also had a lot of very user-friendly features, which I feel like you don't often get to see in a lot of pickup trucks. You know, like we talked about the ACC, the adaptive cruise control. I mean, that thing's so cool just to see how it can monitor the environment around the vehicle, and it's almost like a smart driving feature. The L2 Plus intelligent driving with the ACC, you know, you set a speed, but it doesn't necessarily stay at that speed nonstop. It monitors what's going on in front of it. If a vehicle slows down or if traffic gets congested, it will adjust the vehicle's speed with that. And also like that other part of the smart driving system, the keep lane assist.
Yeah.
I thought that was really,
pull you back on the road.
yeah, like if you veer off, it pulls you right back. So I thought that was very cool as well. And then I think, you know, you were telling me about the T-Max winch as well.
Yeah.
So like that's something I found very neat as well because, you know, you said that you've actually used this thing multiple times, right? Rescuing other vehicles, rescuing your own vehicle.
Yeah.
So, you know, the GWM POER 2.4T, it's got that winch that is certified, qualified in places like South Africa and Australia. The model's there to pull 3.5 tons.
Yeah.
That is a lot of weight to pull.
Yeah.
So that blew me away. And also how it's integrated. You have the frame on body structure with this vehicle. So the bumpers are welded directly on there nice and tight. So it has enough strength to support the winch as well. So, you know, I thought that was really neat. And then, you know, another aspect of that when it comes to the performance of the vehicle, you also have the four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, and you talked about the fuel consumption, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
like,
very low.
right, you drove 700 kilometers,
Yeah, over 700 kilometers.
right, in just one tank of gas
Yeah.
or diesel, I should say. So, you know, you have that good fuel consumption, especially if you're just driving on two-wheel drive, but you also have the option to go to high gear, four-wheel drive, or
low gear.
yeah, the
Yeah.
low gear four-wheel drive. And you know, like you go up a lot of mountains, and today we were on some steep roads as well. We were going up some highly angled roads, I should say.
Yeah.
And but you know, it provides that strong torque.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got the 2.4 liter turbocharged diesel engine. This thing comes with 186 horsepower. This thing, you know, has 480 Newton meters of torque. So, you know, that's just awesome. 135 kilowatts of power. So it packs such a punch, and it looks good too. So, I mean, I had a lot of fun riding around in this thing today. I'm jealous that you get to do it every day.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's my normal life.
yeah, I know, you're lucky. This is what you're doing on the everyday. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, thank you guys for watching. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed it because we got to get into a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool features about the GWM POER 2.4T. We saw a lot of its interesting abilities, capabilities, a lot of the stuff where it's really just revolutionizing how we think of pickup trucks. And if you guys are interested in this vehicle, make sure to follow us, make sure to like our Facebook page. We can get you more information, keep you updated. Also, if you're really interested and you're interested in buying, make sure to do that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure if you have any questions at all, if you have anything that you want to ask us about, make sure to send us a message, follow us, get into contact with you. We will have someone get in touch with you as soon as possible, and you can get the full scoop on what exactly it is that we have here at GWM. And yeah, that has been our video for today. Took a look at the GWM POER 2.4T. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and make sure to stick around and join us for our live streams coming up very soon. Thank you guys, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
GWM. Go with more.